Hello everybody. Welcome to Cho Taekwondo's online seminar for Dojang 1, Dojang 2, and Dojang 3. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about some basic sparring drills that we do in order for us to advance in our levels. You'll see different things today, such as basic sparring drills from level 1 on how to evade, blocking techniques, and things of that nature. Other than that, we're also going to go up to mid-level and higher level techniques as well. So please watch and do carefully. First of all, I would like to introduce some of our sparring competitors and students helping out. First of all, I would like to introduce Fernando Palomares. He is one of our top sparrers who is very highly decorated. He's a multiple state and national title winner who has multiple state titles, golds, and national level silver medalist and gold medalist as well. Here we have Hayden White. He is our Dojang 2's first made black belt. He is also a very high level state competitor who has multiple silver and gold medals as well. And then also he has competed many times at nationals and won as well. Very, very, very experienced competitor. Then we have Miss Chelsea here, who is also one of Cho Taekwondo's regular instructors. She's going to be helping us out with some of the drills as well. So we thank them all for being here, and we hope that you guys stay tuned and watch and really, really pay attention for these drills. Master Bill Gibbs again, guys. We're going to go over level 1 sparring techniques, and really pay attention because, again, guys, it's very important that you do this with confidence, but you also make sure that you do this exactly the way we say. From here, we're going to have Chelsea being the attacker, and we're going to have Hayden being the defender over here, who is also going to show you guys how to evade a kick by something we call slipping. Flank stance, please. Now, one of the most common kicks in Taekwondo is the back leg roundhouse kick, okay? The back leg roundhouse kick is something that almost every competitor at every level uses. So it's a good way to know how to defend against this technique. Your back leg roundhouse kick goes like this, where the defender slips. It looks like this. He slips and moves out of the way, out of the kick. Now again, even at a close range, when he sees this kick coming, hop, he can slip and move back very fast and evade the technique. Again, hop, just like this to make the person miss. Chelsea, off to the side, please. Okay. Now watch, Hayden over this way. If you can see that as Hayden, when he goes and he slips back from here, as he slips back, you can see the front leg kind of lift up and come off pressure a little bit, and the back leg lifts up and pushes at the same way. So again, as the back leg comes up, the front leg pushes back and makes a very, very, very quick action where you can keep the same width of stance. So again, when Hayden does it, hop, yes. Again, you see his back leg slowly lift up, and it's not very, very high. Very, very slight, as his front leg does all the pushing as he comes back. Again, hop, just like so. And he keeps the same width of stance for counter. So, over here, please again, Chelsea. Now, let's both hands up. Now, as you guys see, slow motion, when Chelsea does back leg roundhouse kick, he lifts the back leg and pushes with the front, making him miss, and then his back leg is now open for retaliatory kick or counter. Okay. Again, with the counter kick as well. But not hit. Ready? Hana! Slip, kick, just like that. Again. Duel! Slip, kick, and hit. Last one. Kia! Just like that. Okay. And that is your basic slip and kick. Now, in regular sparring, you would use this not just to simply stand there and just wait and use all the time, but you're going to get into waiting situations where the person is circling around, and right there is the perfect time to make them miss, and the opportunity to kick arises. So general free sparring you two, moving all around, and I want you guys to wait, and try one kick at a time. One kick sparring. Ready? And of course, Hayden, you're going to be the slipper. Ready? Yes. Base partner to it. Lift. Flank stance. Ready? Move around the spar. Go.
Go. Go. Go.
As you see when Hayden moves around, as Chelsea kicks, he can easily move and get away from the kick so long as he times it just right and doesn't get too much out of the way. When he goes one kick, he slips and moves out of the way and is able to return. And stop. And that is how to slip a kick and to dodge, obviously, and very quickly with getting out of the way. Master Bill Gibbs again, guys. We're going to go over another level 1 sparring technique that a lot of people undervalue, but it's really valuable in sparring situations. It's the punch, okay? Now, to do a punch, you have to know what the rules of a punch are, because obviously for sparring, just using any type of boxing style punch is not what scores. Basic reverse punch used at the right time will score only 1 punch, but used the proper way, it can be an effective tool to help you guys counter other sparring techniques as well. So here is the rules about a punch. So when they're in fighting stance, and we have engagement of whatever sort, when the engaging partner comes in, if his punch is strong enough to stop him, right there, he will be awarded 1 point. If during their clinch, or during whatever, if his punch is strong enough to knock him back, and it just comes up under the body, it doesn't count as a point. It's got to come over the top from the clinch and have such strength that it knocks him back and causes trembling force. This punch is the proper punch that will score a point. Any type of combination punches where they're hitting like this do not count as a point. It has to be a punch that's solid and that's followed up later on by kicking techniques in order to be able to be used again. Okay? But again, the most effective way for this punch is to use it as a stopping technique. So, for example, if Hayden's coming in with any type of attack, Fernando punches and knocks him back, this would score 1 point. And then Fernando could also come in there after he counters with a punch and go follow up with any sort of kick that he wants to because he's knocked off balance. So again, used correctly, the punch is a very effective tool to counter anybody's technique when they come in and also score a quick point. Also, one of the reasons that a punch can be really, really effective is sometimes we have it where the punch scores with such trembling force, it hits the solar plexus hard enough where the punch can actually do damage, like if, for example, Hayden's coming in with a roundhouse kick and the punch is landed perfectly on the solar plexus, it can knock the wind out of him and diminish his capacity to return and come back. If this happens, player blue over here is going to be administered an 8 count, and if he cannot continue, he will win by TKO. So it can be an effective weapon at any age, at any level, because body shot contact is not regulated. So we're going to show you guys just some basic sparring. He's going to be doing basic one-shot sparring, so you're going to see that it's not going to be too high level, but he's going to show you how it'll happen where you can use a good effective punch at the right time to score a punch point or to stop him coming in. Ready? So we'll show perfect punch. Ready? His partner. So you fighting stance. Yep.
All right.
Ready?
Chop. Bang. Bang.
As you can see, as Fernando in red moves around,
Bang.
waiting for Hayden to kick. If he times it just out, you can stop him
Bang.
with the punch. Okay.
Bang. Bang.
Regular sparring now a little bit.
Bang. Bang. Bang.
Try for headshot Hayden, so.
Bang.
Good.
Go.
Go.
Bang. 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 Bang.
Hayden comes in.
Bang.
Yep.
Bang. Bang.
Bang.
Bang. Bang.
5 seconds. 4, 3,
Bang. 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 Bang.
time. Now, as you guys can see, that a perfectly timed punch can either stop some sort of offensive attack, or can be something that you can use to start off your own offensive attack. Okay. So remember, guys, don't undervalue the value of a punch. If it's well timed and well placed, it can be a really good tool, and it can actually score you a point. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. I'm your Master Bill Gibbs, and we're going to go over some intermediate techniques today. One of the intermediate techniques I want to go over with everybody is the fact of doing combinations. Combinations are very essential in sparring, because in sparring, simply hitting one kick at a time gets very predictable. And if you become predictable, you leave yourself open to many, many, many techniques that can leave yourself getting hurt. I'm going to show you two basic combinations that are a little bit hard, or at least a little bit hard to implement when you guys are doing active sparring. One of which Chelsea's going to show us. It's a very, very simple combination called body-body-head. Okay? And the way that this combination works is a 3-hit combination that includes two body shot roundhouse kicks ending with a headshot. Now, if you're better with your right leg, you want to start with your right leg back, because your power shot, lighter shot, and then you're going to go with your headshot with your right. Okay? But if you're more flexible with your left, you might want to start with your left, because then the headshot is going to end with the left. Okay? So Chelsea, you're right-handed, so you're going to put your right leg back.
Sure.
More than likely, you're going to be better with this side, right? Okay. So as you see in slow motion, Chelsea is going to progress on Fernando with kicking with body roundhouse kick 1, body roundhouse kick 2, and then headshot for the third one. Okay. Now, in this shot, again, guys, let's scoot over this way a little bit. Again, guys, in slow motion, you'll see as she comes in, body shot 1, body shot 2, and of course a headshot for the third. Okay. Now, when you do this fast, you can kind of throw off your partner because they're not expecting a 3-hit combination. A lot of people you fight expect combinations in 1 shot or 2 shots, but rarely 3. So if you have one set up and you implement it at the right time, it can be very, very effective. Now in full speed, it looks like this. Fernando's gonna be expecting it, so you'll see him not take it. Ready? So it'll be close, it'll be like this. Hop, body, head. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do body shot, all, and then headshot. Yeah, so just 1, 2, head, no jumping there.
Yes, sir.
Ready? Fighting stance. Ready? Go! Body 1, body 2, and then 3, just like so. Okay. So again, guys, as you see when she does this, and she goes in fast and hits this just the same way, it can be really, really effective. 3 kicks done in about 2.5 seconds. Ready? Go! 1, 2, 3, just like so. Okay. Body, head. Now, for something that takes a little bit more planning and a little bit more strategy, you're going to watch Fernando. Now, one of the techniques that we use to avoid a kick, as you saw in the beginner session, we used a slip back just to avoid a kick. But sometimes we can also use kicks like when we have our left leg in front, we can use our foot to actually step back out of the way, and then we can recharge in order to throw a kick. Okay? So this step back right here can be used to move out of the way of a kick. So again, if Chelsea's a little closer, and Chelsea uses the common back leg roundhouse kick to kick Fernando. As he steps back, he's out of the way. And then as Chelsea starts to retreat back out of the way, he can use the step to hit her with a spin back kick. Fernando can also use this kick to adjust his range as well. For example, as he stays right there, as Chelsea goes to kick, and he steps back out of the way, if Chelsea starts retreating just back just a little bit, he's going to take a very short step in order to hit the kick. Okay? But now, when he does this and he starts off, when Chelsea does the kick 1 and he steps back, if she starts retreating very hard and getting back, he can take a very long step to try to get her. Okay? So this kick, if you do this one right and time it out right, also has the ability to be adjusted on the fly. So that means that if somebody's moving, you can actually kind of track with them and use the proper range in this kick. But again, it really takes kind of a setup, and knowing that you're fighting a person that fights only with 1 shot at a time, Fernando can kind of be waiting for her, and when Chelsea does her 1 kick, he can step back, and as she retreats and gets out of the way, Fernando can go and nail it. Now, of course, if we were higher ranked, this can be changed into a spin hook kick to the head or any other kick with multiple follow-up shots to come. Now, you're going to see them do some active sparring here in a second, and during the active sparring, they're going to be regular sparring, doing whatever they want to and stuff, and they're both going to try to implement their technique 1 or 2 times, hopefully, to show you. Okay? And then I'll try to point out when it comes. So, for sparring, here we go. His partner, Tony, come in. Fighting stance. Yep. Again, you guys, regular sparring, and then anytime that you guys see fit or see the opportunity, try to use your technique, and I'll try to point it out as you guys do. Ready? Jump! Start. 5. 5. You saw Fernando use the step back, spin back kick right there.
Five. 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 Five.
Let's try. And stop. Now you guys saw Chelsea try to do the body by head too, and came close. But it has to be done with a lot of speed. Pop, pop, pop. So then the person doesn't see it coming. I saw Fernando actually land an effective step back, steps back kick. And again, guys, not every technique will work every time you do it, but practicing it over and over and over again will obviously make it perfect. There you guys. Okay, guys. Now we're going to go over a very important technique, whether you're at any level, but very important in the intermediate level at least, is blocking. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can block, different kinds of kicks, and a lot of people get into very unique ways to keep guards and everything. But in the intermediate level, really what I keep telling everybody is to keep active hands. Active hands means when you're in fighting stance, your hands are not just down in drapey, like this as you guys are walking around and you guys get close and your hands still remain down, because this leaves you guys very susceptible to kicks that are coming up to the head or anywhere else. So when you're sparring at the intermediate level, or higher level, I tell everybody to keep active hands. This is where when you get close, you start in fighting stance and your hands are actually moving at all times, and you're kind of using the hands to not only get in front of the other person's face and kind of block their vision, but also keeping your hands moving so that they can stay active and be very twitchy towards whatever kicks are going to come. Now, after a time, your hands will get very, very tired of being up. So, of course, when you guys have a lot of distance from each other, the hands can go to a more relaxed state. And as you guys get closer into each other, then they need to become more active. Being very active, of course, once you guys get close. So now, to show this, and a drill that we have to keep the hands up and active, this is a drill that we do to keep the hands, again, up and active. They're going to be trying to tap the person's top of their head. Now, in this, when they do this, they're not trying to go at the face. So if you try to do this with your kids at home, or you guys try to do this with each other, get very careful. This is not a slap fight. This is a very, very targeted drill where you're trying to hit the person on the top of the head, while also keeping your hands up and trying to move around and making sure you don't get hit as well. The drill looks like this. Face each other, come back. Right up, active hands, ready,
Five.
go! Then move. Move around, circle around. When you guys get closer, keep your hands up and moving. Keep going, hands moving. Now, as you guys can see, as they move around, they move. As they move around, they're keeping their hands up and moving. Taekwondo is a very, very leg-oriented sport where we kick, obviously, but we do use our hands quite a bit, more for defensive purposes, and as you saw back in the intermediate drill with punching, to set up something later on. But this is very important to keep your hands up, especially when you're close to somebody, because if it can come so fast with the hands, it obviously can come fast with the legs as well. And stop. Very good. Now, as we go on, you're going to see the next drill that they do is just going to be a very regular sparring match. And as they get close, I'm going to emphasize, and you're going to hear me say, both of you, active hands, active hands. And I want you guys to overemphasize and really show where your hands should be like as you guys get close. Remember, as you get further in distance, about 2 squares away or more, 2 squares away, you have a very slight defensive hand stance, okay? But anything that's more than 2 lines or closer, these hands need to be, at this point, even closer, even further, need to start being active. Because in that, the skipping rounds kick that comes in close is right there. And it can be very, very quick, okay? Also, keeping your hands up and active Like if somebody's doing a stepping headshot, like Hayden, stepping spin hook kick or anything, or crescent kick, anything, the hands are always up and active and moving, okay? Versus if they're down, they have to come up a long way to block. So now as they spar, I want you guys to watch the activity in their hands and pay special emphasis to whether they get close or not. When they get close to each other, are they actually moving their hands or whatever? Or did one of them get hit on the way in because their hands were not active? Okay. Now, here's your partner. Tuck it, tongue in. Nice hands. Kill!
Ah!
Back just a little bit. Ready? Chop!
Wow! 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 Wow!
Ah!
Wow! Wow!
Stand towards me.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Okay, up,
Wow! 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 Wow!
Ah!
Wow! 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 Wow!
Ah!
Your hands more active. When you got it closer. Move everywhere. Move the hands everywhere. Move, move. Move the hands.
Wow!
Drop it. Now make distance.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Just as your hands go down a little more relaxed as they're farther away. Now as they get closer, hands are
Wow!
active.
Wow!
5, 4, 3,
Wow!
2,
Wow! Wow!
1.
Wow!
Time. As you guys can see, as you get closer, more active hands. As you have more distance, you can relax. But again, guys, never totally relax because kick can come at any time. Very good job, face partner. All right, guys. Now we're gonna go over some more advanced sparring techniques. Now, remember, guys, when you're doing advanced sparring techniques, obviously these might take a little bit of time to really understand and watch over and over again, so you can really get the gist of what we're talking about. One of the things that we're going to talk about today, guys, is the corner. A lot of times in sparring matches, they've gone to an octagon, but in some sparring matches and local tournaments, they still fight with a traditional square. So a lot of times when you're sparring, like from when you scoot back over here, if you're able to get your partner back all the way back through multiple sparring techniques, and you're able to get your partner back over here, it becomes a very stressful position for this person to spar. The reason being is because their backwards movement is limited, because if they step out of bounds, they'll get kyongo, and he'll get 1 point. If he goes to the side, he'll walk into his front leg with a kick, and of course if he goes to his other side, he'll walk into his back leg with a kick. So you might think that your options are very limited, but this is where a more advanced technique comes. Now, in order to do this technique, you have to be very good at clinching and know what the rules of clinching are. So when you clinch somebody, if your hands stay like this and not behind the body, this is what we call a legal clinch. This is a legal clinch because it does not go behind the back. The minute the arms lift up and go back behind and extend back past the back, this is going to be a stop, and he's going to be issued a kamjang for illegally holding. So he's got to be very good at not letting, as he comes in, not letting the hands go up. And if he uses his shoulders, he can rotate and actually switch the whole position on the person. Now, again, to do this, it has to be very slick because you don't want any type of holding penalties or any type of grabbing or throwing. So again, to show you how to do this, when he's in the corner, the clinch is administered, and he keeps his head down almost on the shoulder and hands very low. So he can use his shoulders as more of a turning point versus his hands having to use it. Now, in real time, as we scoot back, you're going to see them kind of spar towards the corner right here, and then you're going to see you're going to see Hayden kind of wait in his corner, not step out, and you're going to see him quickly do the technique. So here's how it looks in real time. Each other, flying stance.
Bye.
Ready? Jump!
Bye.
Stop. Now, what you might have seen is Hayden do this technique, but you just saw him do it the incorrect way. The reason being is because when he put his hands out, his hands came across and he turned and moved him like this. This would have been a stop, ganjang on him for a holding, okay? Now, in the real way to do this is how it should look, without looking at the boundaries and everything else. Ready, face partner, so it coming in. Back stance, begin, radio sparring, see him fade back, Dave knows where he's at, keep his hands down low, turn, and keep sparring. Again, back over here. Slow motion. Slow motion as he came in, he was sparring. They were kicking, returning kicks. He knew they were coming, he doesn't need to look, so he would just administer the clinch and turn real quick and continue sparring, hopefully to the point to where he gets him out of bounds. Okay. And that's how to change the situation and get out of it. Okay guys, a second advanced sparring technique is what we're going to be doing right now. Now this one takes a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of skill and good timing, but if you guys can implement this, it's a very, very effective skill, and it's very hard to block when it comes in. Now, the ability to go to the head, guys, at a higher level is very difficult, because when you go to the head, when you're a higher level, much higher level people expect it. You're not fighting white belts and yellow belts, you're fighting black belts who are just as good as you. So you have to be a little deceptive in your techniques, because obviously if you just simply try to sit there and try to hit headshot from the ground, they're going to see it coming from a mile away. So this technique is very good for forcing a headshot when one is not expected. So now you're going to watch Hayden do a cut kick and then immediately go to the head right after the cut without putting it down. Now in fast, without me moving at all, he's going to do it traditionally where he puts his back leg up and then hits. Just like so. Again, you'll see the first kick. We'll do it in slow motion. The first kick is going to go and it's going to stop right there. And the front leg is going to come up again and pick up to go to the headshot as it goes over. Okay? Now, as he does this, as I'm standing still and not moving, this is the attacking side of it, where he goes up and he's attacking with it and immediately going up to the head. Now, you can also do this where if his front leg is already set there in front, and he's waiting for me to come in, and he's just bouncing and waiting. As I come in, he can pick it up and go to the same as well. Again, when he picks up the front leg, picks up and waits for me to come in, and then hits the second one as well. Again, guys, even if you want to get really, really advanced with it, when he comes and he attacks me, if I start moving, he can actually hang it up there in the air and hit, and then chase it there with me too. Making it very hard that if I'm just a normal person, if I go take that first shot, he's going to come up and he's going to hit that second one, boom, boom, and hit me with the second one, because I'm trying to block the body shot so hard. So if he does it right, and I try to block, I will never even see the second one coming. That's the whole idea with this kick. And again, guys, if it's executed correctly, when the first kick goes, the second one is the first kick, is the one that we're really trying to hit. Done effectively, is going to be a 5-point technique. First one for the body, 2 points for the body, 3 points for the headshot. So remember, guys, it's a very hard technique, but you can land it, and it's very, very effective. All right, guys. Now, to recap everything, we're going to be doing a little bit of recap sparring, where we try to focus on the techniques learned. Now, these are not going to be the only techniques that they do in the sparring, so you can kind of see how it's more utilized in more of a applicable way, not just a way where we're working on the one technique and that's all you see. So, in this, Ms. Chelsea's going to help us out with the more basic level stuff that we went over. So she's going to be working on the punch and slipping the kick and trying to counter afterwards. But you're going to see her spar regular as well. Fernando is going to be working on more of the intermediate techniques that we learned, keeping his hands up and active and blocking, and then also working on combination in order to set up higher level kicks. And of course, Hayden's going to be working on the more advanced things that we worked on, the corner trap, and then the ability to cut and go to the head and set up something as well. So again, as you guys see them spar, they're not going to be only doing the techniques that we learned, but I want you to try to keep your eyes out and try to watch for the technique that we were talking about and see if they utilized it the right way. And as you guys watch and critique their sparring, know that they're really trying to focus on that, but not doing that only. So for the first part, we're gonna have Chelsea. You're gonna be in this part, and then Fernando as well. Okay. We're gonna spar for about 30 seconds, and they're gonna keep that in mind. Now again, this might not be an exact 30 seconds if you're keeping time at home, but just kind of watch again that Chelsea's doing the beginner level techniques, and that Fernando's doing the intermediate level techniques. Ready? His partner, Tony, come in. Ready? Fighting stance. Yep. Ready? Cha!
Back, back, back. Back, back. 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 Back.
Okay, guys, come on.
Back. 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 Back.
5 seconds. 4,
Back.
2, 1. Time. Now, partner, Tony. Fernando out. Hayden in. Now you'll be seeing Hayden also trying to work on the advanced techniques as well. Partner, Tony, come on.
Sir.
Fighting stance. Yep.
Ah!
Not ready. Ready? Cha!
Wow. 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 Wow.
Ah!
There's in the corner.
Wow.
She's successful.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Punch Chelsea.
Wow.
You see that it's effective. 5 seconds. 4,
Wow.
2,
Wow.
1. Time. Very good. His partner, Tony. Good job. Now, Fernando, mid-level, is going to go against Hayden. Good. This Chelsea breaker.
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
Now, again, guys, as you can see, when we have different combinations, you might see different sparring techniques come out. But again, guys, keep in back in mind your mid-level techniques. Keep in the back of mind your high-level techniques. But again, that's not the only way to spar. His partner, Tony, 정리, fighting stance. Cue up!
Bye.
Ready? Cha!
Wow. 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 Wow.
More trap.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Good punch.
Wow. 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 Wow.
5 seconds. 4, 3,
Wow.
2,
Wow.
1.
Wow.
Time! Good job. Ready? His partner, Tony, come in. And now finally, Fernando in. No, I'm sorry, Hayden. Hayden against Chelsea. So Fernando out 1 round. Now we're going to leave the advanced person in the whole time. Now, what was that? His partner, Tony, come in. This is because we're living out of time. Now, fighting stance.
Ah!
Bye.
Now, as you guys see for them, watch again, guys. Now, they're both black belt. And sometimes lower level technique can even defend against higher level technique. And you get pop with something that you've gotten hit with 10,000 times, okay? But also, remember that higher level technique too can be very dangerous because something is waiting for you and being set up. So just remember guys, don't walk into anything obvious and try to set up something not obvious. Just partner, put it, put it, nice, yep.
Cha! Wow! Wow, wow, wow!
See Hayden's trapped in the corner, if he uses correctly.
Wow!
Stop. Now, even though Hayden, as you can see, didn't get out, Michelle C gets Kyungo for pushing him out. Because you cannot lower shoulder and push him out. So remember, as you guys are going, as you're keeping him in this corner, make sure that you don't do anything to give yourself a combo. Right, scoot in. From right there. Now Hayden, how do you get out of this successfully? Chop! See? And you turn that.
Wow! Wow!
Again.
Wow! Wow!
Corner again.
Wow!
Arrow's cut and going up to the head.
Wow! Wow!
Stop.
Good.
Up. Hit it. Hands up. 5 seconds, guys.
Cha! Wow! 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 Wow!
3,
Wow!
2, 1. Time. Very good. Partners. Check it.
There.
You guys, everybody return back to your spots, please.
There.
I would like to take this time to thank our students for coming in and for helping us out. And again, guys, for every technique that I teach, there's probably a million techniques that will counter that. But again, having some sort of idea to where to start and kind of where you guys should be aiming towards, and then maybe something a little higher level is very good for you guys to see. These techniques are not to be practiced on anybody and like hitting your parents or your little brother or anything. But if you have targets or your parents can hold pillows or whatever to help you guys do these, it would be very, very good for you to practice. Again, thank you to Fernando, Hayden, and Chelsea, and tune in next time for our next seminar. Thank you guys.